do this.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody, I'm Cheryl Swift, Dutch of Rock and Roll. I'm here today in Nashville with Ray Scott.
How's it going, y'all?
How's it going, y'all? It's beautiful here today.
It really is. It really is.
I'm so glad I drove in that rain yesterday so that today I got the beautiful day.
Did you enjoy that? Actually, I drove in the rain yesterday myself. I was out of town, and so
I did not
good to see this. The pollen is extra nice.
The pollen, the yellow haze of everything.
These shades I have on is to cover up the fact that my eyes are bleeding.
Right. When I woke up this morning, this eye was swollen, so no one hit me. It's pollen and the drive, The drive was treacherous. And I saw where the highway had collapsed. So the last time I was here, we had seen each other and hung out a little bit, got to meet your lovely wife, Stacy.
Yeah.
On the way home that day, my friend Christy and I, she said, there's a cop driving the wrong way heading towards Nashville. And all of a sudden, people started texting me that's the day the highway collapsed.
That's right.
When the mud slid. Yeah. So yesterday I was like, I wonder if I'll be able to see where it happened. That's a lot
Did you
of
see it.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having been. But that was the last time I was here. I guess that was back in February. And we hung out.
Time flies. Well,
I know, right? Doesn't it just seem like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So when I was here, was I the first recipient of the Honky Tonk Heart album?
You actually were, yes.
Yes, I
You
love
had
that.
it. You had it before my mom had it, Cheryl.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Scott.
She's not watching this one.
Okay.
She doesn't have a computer.
Okay, good.
She doesn't even give a shit.
I'm sorry, all the other fans, but I got the album first. And I have it in my car, but the cover's at home, so I had Ray bring a new one today. So we're here to talk today about his new album, Honky Tonk Heart. See, that's him. Look.
That's me. That's me.
With your hat. With your hat.
That's right.
And your Ray-Bans.
Same hat, different day, y'all.
I love this album. What was your inspiration behind it?
Thank you. I wrote a few songs and need to record them, so that was the inspiration.
There you go. That about. So I wrote some songs.
After I released the last album, Guitar for Sale. Guitar for Sale was a compilation of a lot of songs that kind of spanned over quite a few years, to be honest. There was one song on there that was maybe 11, 12 years old. And once I got that out, I'd been going through a little bit of a creative rut, I guess you could say. And after that, I just, it started coming back to me, and so I spent the last couple of years just writing in my man cave, which you did.
I did get to see the man cave.
She's been in my bedroom, y'all. She has seen my bedroom. She's seen
with my best friend, his wife, and all the animals.
Yeah, that
present.
Look, and a lot of oil, a lot of baby oil everywhere.
He's just kidding.
Cool.
Anyway, back to the interview.
No, but I was just doing all this writing and hit kind of a good new creative spot. And,
yes.
And I just kind of wanted to start documenting that and getting it out there.
Yeah.
And this EP is just sort of the beginning of a new period for me, and there's a whole lot more to come, and we're about to.
I know you've been doing some writing,
huh?
Yeah, I heard that little story.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I like about it. I like that all 5 songs are so completely different. There's a lot of different flavors, and I feel almost like, and this is my interpretation. We haven't talked about this yet. It's like a rebirth, a cleaning up, a completion of the past, and moving forward.
Yeah.
Starting with Honky Tonk Heart, about your experience in the music industry. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, it kind of touches on my whole experience with having a major label deal years ago, and kind of, I guess being they were kind of trying to force me to go into a little different direction, kind of more towards the middle, more contemporary, more more pop country, which is something that I don't really have in me. So
right.
It was just kind of born of those feelings, and the rest of it is just kind of the way we run up and down the road all the time, for years now.
Right. How many years have you been touring?
Oh God, officially since the first record deal, that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
And a little bit more than that.
Right.
So
a big chunk of your life you've been running up and down the road.
It's flown by, but the thing that I've figured out is there's a certain brand of country music that I write, that I like to perform, and there's a big audience out there for it. People that kind of want the traditional stuff that's a little more raw and real.
Right.
You know, not necessarily the tailor-made radio stuff.
Right.
You know, and there's a place for all of that, but I'm glad there's a place for myself and a lot of the guys and gals out there like me.
Right.
We run up and down the road. You know, we don't do this for the money. You know, I tell people that I'm not laughing all the way to the bank, but I ain't crying all the way to work. So
right. Right.
You know, it's just kind of an ode to all of us that do this because it's what we bleed. You know.
Right. The honky tonk, Americana, outlaw. I mean, it's like I think there's a lot of quote unquote genreification happening, which is what it is. And there's a certain type of music we all like, and there, you know.
And to each their own.
To each their own.
Absolutely.
I don't ever talk bad about other artists because there's a time and a place and an audience for everything.
You want me to do it? Let's see. Let me think of one.
Okay.
Let's see. Ward
So
Davis,
anyway,
what a jackass. Anyway, I'm kidding.
We love you, Ward. I was waiting to see whose name you were going to throw under the
There's
bus.
a bunch. Where's Kendall Marvel?
Where's Kendall?
Now?
Kendall's getting ready for his show tomorrow night. Sold out the Exit In experience tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
That's awesome. But this will air later, so no one will know that's this will air till
This is time-sensitive material.
This is time-sensitive material. But so the Honky Tonk Heart, I love that song.
Thank you.
Little Some Nation
it's
of
pretty,
your.
pretty lively. It's
pretty lively.
a fun one to play. So.
And then It Is What It Is. I love that song. Let's
Thank
talk
you.
about that a minute.
That one's not quite as happy.
It's not quite as happy.
It's you know, it's real life, you know, which is why I was attracted to country music in the first place.
Right.
You know. It is what it is because it ain't what it was, you know.
That statement is so real on so many levels.
Yeah, it's just kind of about a relationship or a marriage maybe that is kind of in the dumps, you know. Ain't what it used to be and probably never will be. So, you know, I think a lot of people can relate to it.
Yes.
But you know, it's funny. I think it's probably my wife's favorite song on the record. So.
She's
and there's
a doll,
song
by
that
the
I
way.
wrote for her.
Right, I'm like,
too,
we're not there yet. We're getting
exactly,
there.
You know, I mean.
And then there's the funny song.
You think it's funny? That one makes me cry. I don't know.
I laugh so hard every time I hear it. I don't know why.
It's because you know all those crazy women, don't you?
I do know those crazy women.
We all know
the crazy women. And I know the crazy guys, too.
The kind that will make you appreciate your wife a whole lot when you get
Yes.
Honey, I'm glad I married you.
I say that to my husband
I'd be
all the
in jail
time.
otherwise
right.
now.
I'll go out, you know, on the road interviewing people and go to concerts and go away for the weekend. I'll come home. I'm like, God, I'm glad I chose you.
Damn, I love you.
Damn, baby, I love you.
Everybody. Yeah.
Tom McIlvaine's one of his songs. I was in the studio with him last year when he recorded his album, being an historian for his, you know, for the experience. And at the end of his song, he's like, "Damn, baby, I love you." And I thought that's how I feel when I get home. You know.
Yeah.
I like going away, and I like coming home.
That's the thing. I mean, and I do travel a lot. It's a really good thing to kind of keep things fresh, keep you reminded of the blessings you have at home.
Right.
Because
there are train wrecks along the way.
All over the place.
Oh, honey.
Tore up tracks. I mean, gas fires. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you put oil and gas together, something's going to go wrong.
That's true.
I'm just saying. Okay, what about Leave This Town?
You know, Leave This Town is just kind of a combination of things. It's a relationship song, but it's also a song that more or less was kind of born from just missing home. You know, I think in the last year or two, one of the things that you realize as you get older, more and more about is what is important in life, and that's it's family, it's you know, hometown, you know, home turf. You know, I've been going home maybe twice a year to Carolina.
To see your
for years.
family.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Stacy the other day. I said, you know, in 24 years, I bet I've been home maybe 50 times, which is kind of ridiculous. And so I try to make more of an effort nowadays to get there when I can.
Right. And where is home?
I just got
Florida?
back. It's North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Actually, yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't.
You know, it's like what I tell people too. The population in my hometown is like 800 people. And that number never changes because every time a baby's born, some guy leaves town. You know? And so I left town back in '94, and I haven't been back much since. You know what I'm saying.
So you're going home, spending more time with the fam. Did I just hit the camera? So we'll edit that right at about 10.
Edit this too.
You got to throw that in every time I see you somewhere in the interview and the photos. There's always some ridiculousness.
Well, you're the one that got me to give you the finger the first time.
But
like
that was for my
double.
friend Kent. That had nothing to do with me. I did not share that photo anywhere. Someone asked me to do that. I don't know why. Is that your thing?
I
was there.
there.
I took the photo,
You did.
but not for my own sanity, for my friend.
Well, we can't talk about your own sanity. That's never coming back.
It's never. We all know it's never coming back. And then there's thank you, baby. Let's talk about Stacy and that song, because as a woman and as a wife, who doesn't want a song written about them like that?
Yeah, and you having met her recently, at least you can kind of see.
She's ridiculously awesome.
Yeah, she's as sweet as they come, and we had a rough couple of years, which was, well, I had a rough couple of years, and she had to kind of deal with it with me, and when you got somebody that stands behind you, and through thick and thin,
I get it.
It's a big deal. Not everybody will do that.
Right.
She's been great all along, and so it's kind of just a little song, just saying, hey, thanks, baby, thanks for being there, thanks for not giving up on me, because
I get it.
It'd be real easy.
Are you saying you're not the easiest person to get along with, Ray?
No, I'm pretty easy to get along with. I just fucked up a lot.
We're also human. Yeah,
me a little more so some days, I think. Part animal.
Yeah, well, she loves you. She's a doll. You've built a great life together.
Yeah.
You're very blessed in that regard. Plus,
right.
She's ridiculously kind and ridiculously gorgeous. I mean, you won the lottery on a lot of different levels.
I don't know what I did to deserve it, to be honest, because I'm not a really good guy.
I think you're a good guy.
Kind of an asshole, to be honest. So she likes assholes. What can I say?
Anyway, so you've been on tour. You're home for a few days. Where are you headed next?
Well, let's see. This weekend, I'm not sure when this is.
This is probably not going to air, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, my next trip is Florida. We got a couple of shows. I got a real cool private show down in Destin, Florida. I got a place. We're playing a place in Ponce de Leon.
Ooh, nice.
After that, we're headed out west. We're hitting, let's see, Scottsdale, Vegas, Tucson, Flagstaff, San Diego. Then we come back. I think we got some Texas stuff happening. Another run kind of up towards Colorado, I think. And
nice.
Always something new going on. So
right.
That's the way I like to do it. Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. So tell the people where they can get this music and find your information.
Well, if you want to buy a physical copy of this EP, a live show is always a great place to get it. Trust me. And then you can
support
see
live
stuff.
music.
And you can see other stuff live too, like brand new stuff that's not even recorded yet. So yeah, live shows is a great way to do it. Go to rayscott.com if you want to see what my tour schedule is. You can also order this CD from my store there, and all of my other stuff, T-shirts. There's one, it's one that's got my face on it. If you don't like my face, you can turn it inside out, and I can motorboat you all day long. So anyway, yeah, and look for me on Facebook at Ray Scott, the official page. Instagram, Ray Scott Music, Twitter at Reality Check. I'm out there, y'all. I'm like
he's all over.
It's like an epidemic, really. So.
Pandemic.
A mandemic, people.
A mandemic.
It's a mandemic.
You coined that today here at Ugly Mugs.
I did.
It's a gorgeous day here. We should go enjoy it.
It really is. It really is.
Well, thank you. I love your music. I love that I get to call you my friend.
Well, Cheryl, like I tell my mom, thanks for having me. I do appreciate that.
You're so funny. He's funny, people. I think we should do the music and comedy tour, where you play half the time.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that is pretty much what your show is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that we don't call it that, but that's what it is.
It's funny. I was feeling kind of rough this morning, and I almost didn't come to this interview, and I didn't want to let you down. And
thank you.
I was talking to my friend Scott, and Scott says, "Dude, you can't let her down, man. You got to do your thing." And he said, "Tell you what," he said, "whenever I start feeling like this, the first thing I do is I call my wife up and I ask her for a little loving, if you know what I mean." And he said, "I suggest you do the same." He said, "Trust me, it'll make you feel better." So I took his advice, and a little while later, I called him back and said, Scott, man, you were right, man. You were absolutely right. It worked. I feel great. By the way, you got a really nice fucking house.
That's my friend Ray, y'all. Oh my gosh. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I have to put a warning on this interview for content. Anyway.
Sorry.
We're going to go and enjoy this day.
Yes, we are.
Anyway.
There's not vodka in this.
There's not vodka. This
That's
is
why
coffee.
it's not a perfect day.
It's morning in Nashville here, 1:30. It's morning here. I start my day here about noon because I get in so late that it's like noon is like 9 a.m. here for me.
Well, I put pants on around 3, so you know you got me up.
Oh wow, you got up
here.
early to come out and hang out. So anyway,
literally, hanging out right now.
Anyway.
You ever sat on your own balls?
Anyway, I'm Cheryl Swift, Legends of Rock and Roll. This is Ray Scott, artist and comedian, and sometimes songwriter. Thanks for watching. Don't watch this interview at work.
Yeah, or around children. Unless
I'm Cheryl. This is Ray.
Who gives a shit?
We wish you all peace, love, and rock and roll.